1 of your bulletin with a call to return to our souls. The voice of Thomas Merton is with us. Life is this simple.
We are living in a world
that is absolutely transparent.
and God is shining through it all the time.
This is not just a fable or a nice story.
It is true.
If we abandon ourselves to God,
And forget ourselves.
we see it sometimes.
And maybe we even see it frequently.
God appears everywhere, in everything.
And we cannot be without God.
The only thing is, we need to see it. Please turn to page 2 in your bulletin. We have the voice of Coretta Scott King with us in our call to confession and commitment. I remind you again today.
Violence against poor people and minority groups is
I remind you again today that starving a child is violence.
Suppressing a culture is violence.
Neglecting school children is violence.
Ghettoizing is violence.
Ignoring medical needs and health care is violence.
Contempt for equality is violence.
And watch this.
Even a lack of willpower
And an apathetic spirit
that refuses to challenge these other forms of violence.
is itself violent.
So sometimes the question for us is,
Are we going to be on the side of violence or nonviolence? Amen. Welcome to our Illuminated Beatitudes service. Have a hymnal ready to sing from during different parts of this arts and spirituality service. One of the hymns is an insert in your bulletin, Come and Find the Quiet Center, but the others are in the red hymn book. The text for this was written some years ago by Marion Thomas, our retired music director and organist. We hope this is a service that engages you and blesses you. A beatitude is a blessing, a testimony to love, a sign of a good relationship. Jesus was blessed by God at his baptism. Mary was blessed by the angel at the Annunciation. Jesus was blessed by Simeon at the temple when he was circumcised. In all three cases, the blessing was based on the recipient's relationship with God. So Jesus, in showing his followers what a good relationship with God would mean, taught them in this way. Blessed are the poor in spirit. All that I am, all that I have, all that I will be comes from you, O God. When I attune myself to you, Creator of all that is, I do not put myself forward. Instead, I am aware that I am one small part of your vast creation. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Secure in my relationship with you, aware of my link to your creation, I am blessed to know that my home is with you, in the past, the present, and the future. Blessed are those who mourn, When I am overwhelmed by the pain, the suffering and tragedy of the world, or my own grief, I weep with you, O God. My tears cleanse and heal me, like a refreshing rain after a long drought. For they shall be comforted. My journey through pain and sorrow takes me through barren lands. But finally, I am welcomed home by you, even as the prodigal son was warmly embraced by his father and comforted. Blessed are the meek. It is so hard to lay aside my pride. My intellectual pride makes me a poor listener. My pride of possession makes me greedy. My proud heart erects barriers between myself and others. I long to be able to humble myself and follow Christ's example. He washed the disciples' feet. He showed that the last shall be first. He said, "No one is good but God." For they shall inherit the earth. When I diminish my ego and my pride, then there is more room in my heart for all the blessings which you give. And I can hardly contain the bounty. Blessed are those who hunger, who thirst after righteousness. To be righteous, I would have to be terribly troubled by the injustices and suffering all around me. Enough to do something about it. Those in need would experience your compassion through my actions. For they shall be filled. My deeds against injustice would make me a partner with you, God, in healing this hurting world and in healing my own heart. Justice and peace in my heart would be fully satisfying, like love shared among friends. Blessed are the merciful. Abraham learned as he was about to sacrifice Isaac that you are a merciful God, a God who is compassionate, kind, and gracious. Oh God, teach me how to show kindness, to have compassion, to be gracious. For they shall obtain mercy. Jesus was clear as to what to do. Feed the hungry. Give drink to the thirsty. Clothe the naked. Give hospitality to the homeless. Care for the sick. Visit the prisoners. Yet you have prepared incomprehensible joy for those who love you and follow your way. The mercy you show us will be far beyond any of these acts of mercy which we give to others. Blessed are the pure in heart. As I move up the ladder of the Beatitudes, I see that a pure heart is a heart free from possessiveness, a heart which can mourn, a heart that thirsts for what is right, a merciful heart, a loving heart, an undivided heart. This purity of heart is an inner equality, free from selfishness, pride, and self-pity. My heart must be focused on you, O God. If my heart is pure, I will not judge and condemn others. For they shall see God. As Moses saw your glory on Mount Sinai and forged a covenant with you, as Elijah heard you in a still small voice and regained his vision of his relationship with you, as Jesus was transfigured by seeing you on the mountaintop, so may I receive insight to recognize you when you speak to me. Blessed are the peacemakers. If I am able to ascend the first 6 rungs of this ladder of blessing, I may at last be ready to rebuild broken bridges, pull down walls of separation, and try to help people recover their lost relationship with you and with each other. Jesus promised blessings on those who work to restore shattered peace, who make peace actively through listening attentively and creating dialogue. For they shall be called children of God. I was made in your image, O God, and when I live out the peace which Christ gives, I know I'm like a channel through which your peace flows to all around me. With Francis of Assisi, I pray, make me an instrument of your peace. And now to the final part of the journey. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and utter every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. This seems like the hardest beatitude to understand. How can I accept persecution for Jesus' sake as a blessing? Will it enable me to overcome my fear of condemnation and rejection without bitterness, hatred? Could I ever ask you to forgive my tormentors, as Jesus on the cross asked you to forgive his tormentors? For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So, rejoice! Be glad! For your reward will be great in heaven. I think of how one prophet said that the deeper sorrow and pain cut into my being, the more joy I will be able to contain. Perhaps people who seem the most joyful have experienced great suffering. As we climb the ladder of the Beatitudes, may we overcome our fear. Our fear of poverty, our fear of rejection, our fear of death itself, so that your greatest blessing, oneness with you, will be ours. Amen. Good morning, church. Welcome to all of you who are here today. We're blessed by your presence. We're glad you're here today to worship God and celebrate Jesus' work amongst us and beyond us. I want to mention a significant prayer concern. Drew's uncle, Daryl, may have had a stroke last night and is very ill in Seattle. Carly needs your prayers as she cares for him, her brother, and her sister-in-law. So let's keep them in our prayers during the coming hours and days. Wednesday, we're having another Zoom Bible study. If this is something you're interested in, let me know after church and I can send you the link. It's a 1-hour study from 6:30 to 7:30, and we're at the very end of the Gospel of Mark. So you can let me know if you're interested. I already have a list of people, but we want to send you the Zoom link if you want to get in on that. We promise 1 hour. Last week, Stan Morgan and I had a dialogue sermon about police reform in the Kansas City Police Department. We have an opportunity this morning for you to put a little bit of help into this. We met with More Squared this week, who is having a petition drive on the single issue of local control of the police. Unfortunately, you do have to live in Kansas City, Missouri to sign this. Although, if you want to be an ambassador and find some other people to sign it, even though you don't live in KCMO, Stan will have one of these with him and can give it to you, and you can get other people who do live in KCMO to sign it. He'll be at the back of the sanctuary after church to seek out anybody who wants to sign for local control. Finally, I'll say lots of people have been so generous with clothing items for Westport Showers. I'm going to say one of the things that we need regularly, even though it requires a weightlifting job, is water. So if you could bring in those plastic bottles of water, they really help us out, especially in this hot weather. You can imagine people ask for extra ones because it's so hot outside. So thank you for your generosity for the Westport Showers, and thanks to everyone who's continuing to make that happen. Today we welcome Jonathan Moldovan as our guest tenor. And let us prepare for some anthem music. Thank you for adding beauty, meaning, inspiration to our worship through your music. Let us now prepare for our Matthew 25 prayer and add in your own prayers. They don't have to do with the prayer lines that were said just previously. Anybody, any cause you want to pray for after I ring the gong. Let us lift our hearts and bow our heads. I was Salman Rushdie, and you saved my life. I was Brittany Griner, and you kept fighting for my freedom. I was Zelensky, and you kept praying for me. I was Ukraine, and you did not forget me. Jim Turner. I was sick, and you brought me dinner. I was in the hospital, and you visited me. I was hungry, and you fed me. I needed cold water, and you gave it to me. Daryl, Carly, Sue. I was lost, and you found me. I was alone, and you became my companion. I didn't know what to say, and you wisely counseled me. I didn't know what to think, and you helped me focus my thoughts. I was weak, and you showed me how my weakness was my strength. Jeannie, Bart, Roy, I was a person without a house, and you became my friend. I was going through hell, and you went through hell with me. I was the earth, and I couldn't breathe, and you cared for me. I was a four-legged, and you became my loving friend. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Let us prepare now for our time of morning offering. Thank you for all the offerings you have given during this difficult several years. You may give your offerings after church. We're still not passing the plates. There are plates at the back near the doors. Amen. On the last page of your bulletin, please join me in a unison prayer of dedication. May we know the honor of being a human being. May we share the honor of being a human being. Let us unite a frightened world by acts of kindness. Hate has no home here. Let hate have no home where you are. Love your enemies. Replace apathy with curiosity, violence with community. May our capacity for God be reborn. Always remember, what you give, you have. Amen. And now may you bring all your burdens to God. May you go and find the quiet center. May you see a vision of the living God. And may you be found by a love that will not let you go. Amen.